Hi, I'm Christine. I'm the Chair of Advance. So today, International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Special day, also special day, because we're opening this wonderful centre. The real problem is that, so we don't look, we can't help. So I want you to leave here with your eyes open and encouraging other people to open their eyes. Now, having said all that, of course, I'm really happy that London is leading the way in designing and providing innovative services, working with charities like ourselves and our partners to help the many thousands of women that we support every year. So I really want to say thank you so much to MOPAC. I want to say thank you to Newham. I want to say thank you to the Ministry of Justice. I want to say thank you to our trusts and foundations and our friends and everybody that has been supporting us financially, but also emotionally, and coming with us in a partnership to deliver the help and the support that is so much needed to the over 8,000 women and children that we worked with last year. And what this centre will enable us to do is to reach many more.
I'm really excited to have the opportunity to visit this centre because I'm really confident that it's going to be very well placed to provide continuity of support for young women who are in contact with the criminal justice system, particularly those that are sort of transitioning, because I know there's a transitions hub here, as well as the safe space that is going to be provided for women who've got complex needs within the criminal justice system. And it's really appropriate, as you say, that we're here on the International Day for Eliminating Violence Against Women, because there's a clear and established link between women's offending behaviour and their experience of domestic abuse. Over 55% of women in contact with the criminal justice system say they have experienced domestic abuse. That is a really horrifyingly high number, isn't it? And over 65% also report mental health needs which are linked to their experience of trauma and violence, which is why a wraparound trauma-informed service is so important for them. We know that they work. They've got a positive impact in terms of diverting women away from the criminal justice system, in reducing reoffending, and helping them to turn their lives around across so many other areas. And that benefits them, it benefits their family, and of course it benefits the wider community as well. So obviously tackling all of this requires a multi-agency approach, which is why MOPAC are championing London's blueprint for a whole system approach to women in contact with the criminal justice system. And the Women's Centres, hubs and wraparound services provided both by Advance and the South London Alliance provide safe spaces in which we can address the complex needs that these women present.
In my professional life, I have been, as you know, a client of Minerva's myself when I was younger. My probation officer referred me, so that was life-changing. I then went on and was a peer mentor for 2 years, again for Minerva, and now I'm a young person's key worker. So I've literally seen it from all angles, and yeah, I've got a full caseload and see the ups and downs of my young people's journeys every day.
I was labeled as a problem child when, if these stuff were called, it's always labeled, like you said, of certain things that could have been called. Oh, you're missing school. No one stopped. Why are you missing school? Mm-hmm. It's on you. So a place like this, not being judgmental. I know sometimes with families, different cultures, certain things are expected or swept underneath the rug. So you just live with those issues. And I just want to say that all wounds are not visible. Mm-hmm. Sometimes as women, it starts off as a child and we walk around and the things we do, the people society sees. I was actually incarcerated at the age of 16 and I just did 15 years in prison. And so, but I want better for myself. I don't want to be labeled as a convict. But I know as a child, there were many things that led up to me going to prison.
When you're surrounded by people that all experience trauma, you're trauma bonded by a huge group of people. So you can't identify that trauma. You don't think you're traumatized. You think this is completely normal. Even to this day, I still think that certain things I went through were completely normal because when I'm speaking to my peers, they're also saying they're having these experiences. So I had no one external to tell me that this was not normal and this was a traumatic event, and to show me some sort of trauma-informed practice. So I think it's very difficult to identify when I was in that relationship that this was a problem, because my peers were also in similar DV relationships. Yeah.
Sometimes certain things can be prevented. A lot of services are for people who have went through the system, but with Advance, just by being a human, just coming here, those people, just because they haven't been to prison yet, just because they haven't had run-ins with the law, there's still necessities they need. There's still issues that they deal with. And it's like just basically getting to those issues before, having a safe spot, having someone to speak to you before judging you or looking down on you is really, really nice.
2020 was a tough year. I mean, it's been really hard work for everyone, COVID highlighted the plight of women locked in with their abusers. It also highlighted the plight of women in prison with no contact to their support systems, no contact to their families, or difficult contact to their families. So I really want to thank all our amazing staff at Advance. You're awesome.
Good afternoon, everyone. We get a response for that. Lovely, good stuff. Thank you very much for inviting us here today. We are Clean Break. I have 3 artists with me and one of our freelancers who actually works in the Women's Centre delivering our partners with Advanced and the South actually. So JB is going to speak to that so you can understand exactly what happens and what the magic is, the creative magic.
I like to do chants from all parts of Africa, and this one, just repeat after me. Oleo, 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 oh la la, oleo, 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 oh la la, ola, oh la la, ola, oh la la, ola, oh la la, ola, oh la la.
Well, I never thought I'd spend today like this, Mother's Day, without a hug or kiss. It's not right, it's not fair or okay. And the day we both dream of seems so far away. But don't you worry, that day is soon to come. The day that I'm reunited with you, my mum. For now, the letters that you receive in the mail, the ones that I send you from Durham jail, they will have to do in the meantime, like the one you get when you read this rhyme. The reason I wrote this poem was to say, I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
It's never too late, people say. You've got loads of time. But have I? Have I got time to make it up to my children, all the pain I've caused them? Will they love me? Come to me? Will they need me? Or forgive me?
In this new era, a women's nation, newfound occupation, instigator, not influencer or peaceful process, filled with fire, with fight for what is right for suffrage, for suffering. Let the new dawn begin. In honour of all the women who have cruelly and unjustly lost their lives at the hands of men, and for all the women who continue to fight the injustice and inequality that remains.
For those of you who support Advance, who work at Advance, it's extraordinary what you've done and what you've built over the years. And you should be so proud of Advance as an organization and the breadth of work being done now. And if I would never have dreamed sitting there in that room with my stack of files and working away and trying my best that we'd ever achieve anything like this. So I know sometimes day to day I think this a lot. There's so much more to do. There's so much left undone. but I suppose I would say to you on the UN Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls, be very proud of what you do. Be very proud of what you've done and the way you're changing lives every day. It's incredible to me.
The room is full of experience, joy, and actually activists and women and men who work incredibly hard to change lives for women and girls. Last but not least, we've got at least 10 of our trustees, and I will tell you every day, they add value, and we always forget that they do this voluntarily on top of their real jobs. Although this feels like a real job, so many of them make my life possible and every one of our teams, and change lives every day. So it isn't just the team on the front line, but so many behind the scenes. And then thank you to our team, so many of them who have had to set it up. Boilers weren't working 2 weeks ago and all sorts of things. So yeah, the beginning of a beautiful home for so many women and young women in the area.